What's up guys, this is Raz and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showcasing a team that has been wildly successful for me. I've got a few videos coming out with this team or a similar team, and it is Empoleon, Mandibuzz, and Primeape in the Remix Cup. And you're going to see some pretty epic battles in this video, and I'm going to hopefully tomorrow post a video that might be my best set of the entire season. So I highly encourage you, if you're going to watch a Rise video, if you're going to share a Rise video with your friend, make sure to watch tomorrow night's video as well. But yeah, basically the thought process behind this team: Empoleon really good against poison types, good against most other steel types, fire and such, and in the back it's weak to fighters. And Primeape and Mandibuzz are pretty versatile picks that can cover some of those fighters. This is a pretty good situation. We chipped away the cast form with our Empoleon, and now we've got the Mandibuzz as well to get a shield. So I'm definitely going to come back here with my Empoleon. I do have to respect a drill run here because that would one-shot my Empoleon. So I do shield the drill run successfully, and there's an Obstagoon in back, and that is GG's. Primeape just eating the Obstagoon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this is a pretty straightforward win just based off of team comp and keeping switch advantage. Pretty simple stuff. By the way, Go Fest happened this past weekend. I had a great time in Chicago, met some fellow content creators, my buddy Boygos, who lives near me. Also got to meet Homeslice Henry, and he was super cool to meet. Really fun guy, a lot of energy, and he was like super enthusiastic and seemed really cool. Met some of you guys. I had probably a dozen or so fans throughout the weekend, whether it was here, whether it was in Chicago or back in the Waukesha area in Wisconsin, that came up to me like, "Hey, are you Rise?" or "Hey Rise, I watch your vids." Even had one guy come up to me and say like, "Hey man, like you helped me reach rank 10 or rank 24 rather this past season." So I appreciate all the love, all the support, and this community has been so great to me, so welcoming, and I'm looking forward to more in-person events in the future. Had a pretty decent shiny haul. Well, for me at least, I'm different than most people that play Pokemon Go. Like I'm more so looking for XL candies and like good PvP IV Pokemon, just catching everything for Stardust rather than just shiny checking. So I only got like a dozen or so shinies, but most of them were ones that I didn't have, so I was happy with a dozen shinies. And yeah, but you see the play there. We actually chose not to commit any shields to try and get switch, and it actually allowed us to farm down the Jirachi with our Emp, and now we're up 2 shields. So we know he has a Surfetched, but we're pretty comfortable. I'm trying to sneak an extra Snarl here. That's why I didn't throw right away, and I do sneak in the extra Snarl. That is huge. And now I can get off this foul play. I'm only 1 Snarl away from another foul play. But at this point, I'm actually saving this energy. I sneak in another Snarl because my opponent wasn't timing their moves ideally. They switch. I was expecting their switch, and I'm able to get off this Aerial Ace, which will do quite a bit of damage. Then I switch into Emp, and I catch a move. Really nice. It is a Night Slash, so it won't quite KO. And I did get a Waterfall through there, which is nice. Doesn't really impact the game, though, as I was still 1 Snarl away from the Aerial Ace. And I just need to be able to snarl this down, and 2 Snarls would have been enough. My opponent surrenders just before they lose the game. So with GG's there. This team is really dangerous if you can manipulate your energy, because Primeape, for example, like it's weak to Psychics, right? But it has Night Slash access to beat those Psychics, and Empoleon's weak to Fighters, right? But it's got Drill Peck. So if you can farm properly, you can overcome some pretty bad situations. We're going up against the Zweilous here. Zweilous, not a great matchup for Empoleon, but not the worst matchup in the world. We do have to be respectful of the Dark Pulse. I tried to catch the Dark Pulse, but he didn't throw it right away. And now we're in a pretty terrible situation against a Dugong, which has a very comfortable matchup against Mandibuzz here. Dugong is such a great Pokemon in the Great League because it's very bulky and it has access to Icy Wind, gets stab from its ice typing. So Icy Wind is going to debuff you every time, which makes Dugong like so good. Dugong in the 2 shield wins like pretty much every neutral matchup because of its ability to debuff. So if you're looking for a new team, I actually play really aggressive here and I swap because I didn't want to give the Dugong that extra farm. I'm able to call a Body Slam, which is huge. I'm going to try and call another one and see if I can get to the Drill Peck. Unfortunately, I can't, but that's all right because I'm putting it all on Primeape. I'm putting it all on Primeape here. I get a counter down. I know that Dugong has loads of energy, so I'm still a little bit scared. Not necessarily thinking I can win this game because I'm gonna have to commit both shields here. I was just trying to decide if I wanted to shield that or not. In comes a Mew, and man, if I had let that second Icy Wind go, I might have had a chance because I've got all this energy. If I still had a shield here, but honestly, if I didn't shield the Icy Wind, I probably would just get Shadow Clawed down. So pretty tough game there. Not sure how much I could have done. I guess if I had tried to win the lead, if I had won the lead, I might have been able to win. But then again, if I go down a shield to win lead, I'm probably in a bad spot. We got the Mewtwo reward, and we cut straight into our next game. Mirror match, they swapped in Surfetched, so I swapped in my Primeape actually because Mandibuzz with Snarl doesn't have a super comfortable matchup against Surfetched. I'm just going for a Night Slash here. We're both so attack weighted that this would still put it like one counter away from KOing. And I know switch advantage is really important. So I'm going to shield. I'm one away from the close combat. I'm expecting Empoleon to potentially come in for a farm down. And it does. And I'm just going to go for it because some people don't respect the close combat. They just assume you're running Night Slash Ice Punch. And boom! One shot the Empoleon. In comes a Primeape. And believe it or not, I'm actually going to come in with my Empoleon here. And the reason being is I want him to expend energy and I want to do some waterfall damage. And now after I do that waterfall damage, I put it into Aerial Ace range. So now I just need to double Aerial Ace and I should be good. I also was able to store a Drill Peck. My Empoleon survived those 2 counters with a couple of HP. So I actually have that Drill Peck stored as well. So I CMP tie here, delayed CMP on the Aerial Ace and their Ice Punch, and it doesn't quite KO, so I get it off. And this should be enough to KO, and it is. And we have the Drill Peck, even if it did KO our Mandibuzz. Another win. There we go. This team has been so good to me. You see my elo in these battles, 2875. I have gained, what would that be? 300 elo with just this team in a matter of like 2 or 3 days. We got a solid lead against the Mandibuzz. They swap in their Melmetal. I'm going to shield the first, expecting a superpower. And then I'm going to take the second, since it's been debuffed, and commit to a full counter down. And that way, I'm going to have a lot of energy to threaten the Mandibuzz. Air Slashes will quickly chunk away my Primeape, but Primeape has access to close combat, which does a lot of damage against Mandibuzz. I had poor timing there, I believe. I had poor timing. If I had just thrown one more counter, I believe I would have been able to survive to get to another close combat. But I threw 3 counters instead of throwing 4 counters, and that allowed him to sneak in a free one, which was a Air Slash that took the like extra damage because of my debuff. So that was a misplay by me. I aggressively swap into my Mandibuzz here, and I'm like, okay, I'm in a pretty good spot because their opposing Mandibuzz is pretty much in waterfall down range. So as long as I can get the last shield here and not expend a shield, I should be good. Or if I can just take out this Ninetales and force the Mandibuzz to expend energy on my Mandibuzz, I should also be good to go. So I'm feeling pretty good about this situation. Foul play, gets the last shield. And now I'm like, all right, this is pretty good for me. I sneak in a Snarl as well. I know oh, okay, interesting shield. I guess I knew they didn't have 2 moves, so I could just safely shield foul play. I switch, trying to catch an Aerial Ace here. But I think my opponent had enough time to react. Yeah, they had enough time to react. But the foul play actually didn't quite KO. IVs matter. IVs matter. And my Empoleon survived with a few HP, maybe like 1 HP. And took it out. IVs don't matter till they matter, right? Also, mid-video, if you're watching, make sure to go check out Boygo's channel if you haven't already. His link it's down in my description for every video because Boygos has been a friend of the channel. He's helped me design graphics and such, teach me how to make better thumbnails and everything. So go check his channel out because at some point he's going to be releasing a vlog from our GoFest. Great lead here. Empoleon versus Frost. They switch into a Diggersby, and I'm like, okay. Oh, I remember this game. Oh my gosh. So check this out. I throw the Hydro. I try and switch, and I'm like, okay, this is impossible for it to be an Earthquake, but because the game can be so inconsistent, I shield anyway, and I'm upset myself. Now I catch, and check this out. Earthquake. Ha ha ha. Mandibuzz laughs in the face of the Diggersby. I'm just going to farm up a ton of energy. They already revealed Earthquakes. They're not running Hyper Beam, so there's nothing here that really threatens my Mandibuzz. Look how much the Fire Punch does. Pretty much nothing. I was thinking about undercharging this because I wasn't sure if it would KO. And fortunately for me, it doesn't KO. They come in with their own Mandibuzz, which is a nice play. It avoids me from farming them down, and I don't have like an obvious answer to this. So I'm building up energy that I can save for later because I know that energy is going to be valuable against the Frostlass. Then I switch into Primeape, believe it or not, because Empoleon is good against the back too. And oh my gosh, the opponent, they Dark Pulsed me. They Dark Pulsed my Primeape. That wasn't even a catch, I don't think. I was so confused. Fortunately, I survived that Aerial Ace with minimal HP. I get off this close combat, and it lands, does a lot of damage. That's huge. I'm deciding what do I want to come in with here. I decided to come in with Empoleon. In comes Frostlass, and I'm in a pretty commanding position because they are now switch locked. They're almost going to have to shield the Hydro here, and I'm just going to stay in at this point, force the Frostlass to expend energy, and this waterfall damage chunking away. I'm going to let it go. Just save my shield for mana. My Mandibuzz has so much energy loaded. I felt like I didn't need to shield that because even if they Shadow Balled me, I could just foul play, farm down, and win. And my opponent's thinking. I'm surprised they haven't surrendered, but I respect the fact that they're trying to play this out. And we get the win in the end. There we go. Also, another GoFest tale. I had a funny guy. We were just kind of chatting around in Maggie Daly Park in Chicago on Saturday, and one guy heard me talking about PvP, and he comes over and he's like, "Are you the best battler around, or are you the best battler of the group?" I'm like, maybe, arguably, debatably. Who's to say? I don't know. It's possible. And he's like, "I challenge you to a battle." And I felt like I was in an anime, and we battled each other on our phones, and the guy actually beat me. It was, I led a G-Fisk into a Lucario, and then Pelipper swapped to Umbreon, and then Venusaur versus Beedrill in the back. So I got, like, pretty hard countered. Pelipper versus Umbreon, I know, is, like, kind of neutral, but Pelipper just gets out-bulked by Umbreon, so I got pretty hard countered, and I lost. But he was a really funny dude. And it, like, made my day. It was, I thought it was hilarious. So, believe it or not, a Frostlass meeting your Mandibuzz with Snarl is not like the end of the world. And check this out. I'm actually going to undercharge this Foul Play because I know the Foul Play wouldn't have KO'd anyway. And this is going to allow me to get some nice farm. I am going to shield this because there's no reason for them to bait here. I shield the Shadow Ball. Would have done a lot of damage. I get a really nice waterfall down. I'm one waterfall away. And I knew they had a Machamp, right? So I'm going to get off this Drill Peck here. And then I'll be able to switch into my Primeape. And I'm hoping my Primeape can sweep. And there's a Hypno. And I'm like, okay, I know how to play this. I'm just going to Night Slash. I'm going to hopefully waterfall down and Drill Peck the Machamp. Except there's a problem. The Hypno probably has Thunder Punch. And the Machamp has a Cross Chop loaded. So I can't shield this. Unfortunately, it does have Thunder Punch. Once again, if you're wondering why I didn't shield, it's because the Machamp had a Cross Chop loaded. And a Cross Chop from a Machamp would have definitely done more than pretty much anything the Hypno could throw at me except for a Focus Blast. So I had to save the shield there. And unfortunately, we lose that one. But we made it somewhat kind of close. I wonder if I could have played that better. Empoleon into a Shadow Machamp is always going to be tough, especially for this team because I don't have like hard answers for fighters. I have like kind of neutral answers for fighters. We lead into a shiny Shadow Lapras, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this thing looks pretty dang cool. I'm going to throw at 8 waterfalls because that's when Lapras could potentially get to Skull Bash. I don't want to allow them to buff their defense. They throw at what would be a Skull Bash, but they didn't shield, which makes me think they probably don't have it. And I was correct, it's just a Surf. I do sneak in a waterfall there, which is really nice. I'm cognizant of the fact they might try an aggressive swap here, but it looks like they're not. So I farm as much as I can. I think I could have actually thrown one more waterfall there, but it's whatever. In comes Frostlass. And I'm actually going to make an aggressive swap here because if I let this Frostlass Powder Snow down my Empoleon, even though I might do a lot of waterfall damage in the process, I would be in a whole lot of trouble because Frostlass is so dangerous with energy. Lucky enough for me, they don't seem to have an obvious answer for my Primeape in back. So I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty comfortable spot. It ends up being a Machamp. And I'm going to Night Slash the Machamp. I think I still thought there was a shield. I think I still thought there was a shield in play. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm not sure what I'm doing. And then I come in with the Empoleon because I thought I would survive one counter. I thought I would get off a... oh my goodness. Rise, what are you doing? And then I try and call it here, and I actually successfully call the Cross Chop, which is huge. The reason I go for Foul Play... These are so many unorthodox plays. The reason I go for Foul Play is because I thought he might try and catch. So that way, Foul Play would have KO'd the Machamp anyway. And if he was able to catch on the Frostlass, it would have been super effective. So that's why I went for Foul Play. That was such a weird game. I made several misplays in there. I forgot the shields. I made a misjudgment call when I thought my Empoleon would get off a waterfall against the Machamp before fainting. So that was a pretty poorly played game on my part, to be honest, in several instances. But we still were able to play well enough to get the win. That's all that matters, right? Fortunate lead against the Lapras and Primeape. Primeape beats like that whole team. So the Ape is great. This team has been great for me. I highly encourage you to try it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Looking forward to making more content in the next few days. I'm going to be showcasing some just absolutely epic battles I've had lately on a tear in the Go Battle League. In the Go Battle League season, we're all going to have our peaks and valleys, and lately I've been having a peak. I'm back up to almost 3,200 ELO, and you're going to see some of the battles along the way, along the journey. All right, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.